Hello, this is Colin with Maker Farm. This video we're going to show you how to assemble the X-axis for the i3v style Prusa. The V Prusa is the one that uses the aluminum extrusion. Make sure you download the build guide, find the page that says it's the X assembly page, and then go ahead and gather everything listed on that page before watching this video. Here's all of the wood pieces that we're going to be using for this part of the build. We're going to gather 2 of our aluminum extrusions also to start our assembly here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my X idler and X motor assembly. Previously we installed 4 bolts on each of these where they're just kind of sitting there. There's nothing on the other side. We're going to grab some of these T-nuts, and that's what we're going to install on the other side. So do that with all 4 on the X idler and the X motor. So we've got 4 on our X idler, and I'll do those 4 in the X motor now. Okay, and then for me, I'm going to have them all of my arrows pointing to the right hand side for me, or this direction. And I'm going to grab my X carriage also. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the X idler side. I'm going to line up those, thread them through. Actually, I'll do that later for the X carriage. And then just line up the X motor. Send them through. I can flip it over and just loosely tighten those two. I just don't want to have stuff moving around right now. Okay, so now you can take your X carriage. It's going to sit higher up, just like this, and it's going to slot in place. You'll have to kind of wiggle it into place. So it's going to sit up above just like that. And our belt will go all the way to this side and all the way to this side when it's fully assembled. Now you can take your other extrusion. We're going to do this on the lower side. Just start feeding it through. And flip it over and just loosely tighten those up so that they're just not sliding around and our extrusion's not being lost. The distance where I've got it right now is not correct. We're going to adjust that later. We just don't want to lose stuff. Okay, so we've got our X carriage on there. It's moving back and forth. If it's not moving nicely like it is here now, you could adjust that with a wrench, and that would increase or decrease the distance that this idler has from this piece. So to move it this way or this way, and you can make it smoother or tighter. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 more of these T-nuts, and we're going to use the idler side, and we're going to put one on each of those. And we're going to grab our actual idler. Loop your belt around the idler bearings. We're going to put it in place and just use 2 of the 12mm long M5 bolts. Just get them lined up with those T-nuts. Just like that for now. You can see that bolt for the idler is going to be going into that hole there. Doesn't come all the way through. That's okay. Okay, the next piece we're going to get one of these, and we're going to install that here into our Y idler. You're looking at it upside down. This is the top. So normally it would look like this. And basically we're going to put 2 more of those T-nuts in here. Actually, we're going to put 3 of those T-nuts in here. One of them we're going to use for our X end stop switch. So we're just going to move that one off to the side. I'll put a bolt in that to keep it from moving. And I can put this in place. And then get those T-nuts lined up and go ahead and install some of those 12mm long M5 bolts. These don't need to be incredibly tight right now because we're going to be adjusting all this later on. Okay, so we've got the X idler side. Now I'm going to do the same thing the X motor side. Take my same piece, get 2 of the nut traps, or the T-nuts, 2 of the 12mm long M5 bolts. Okay, so then that's side is in there as well for the X motor. And basically when we install our Z rods, the Z threaded rods, they're going to go right up through those. And there's going to be an M5 nut right there that's going to be trapped in its place. So the last thing that we're going to do is grab a motor . And then grab your gear for it. And just like the other video, I'm going to go ahead and put these little set screws in I'm going to put that on our motor shaft. Just kind of loosely get them on there. And then I can straighten out my belts here. On my X side, I'm going to have the wire just coming straight out to the side. And then we can go ahead and use some M3 by 10 bolts.